So, I hope that you guys are having a good weekend so far. Here in St. Louis, it remained a little chilly, but after we had that weather earlier on where we were in the negatives for a bit, it's kind of like how my husband Tim put it, you acclimate to being in the cold to where if it's 30, what is it, 30 some degrees, 40 some degrees, it's better than negative whatever. So that made an impression like, wow, yeah, you do kind of acclimate. But anyhow, so we are gathered tonight to continue on our journey of learning the various cards in the major arcana. And so last night we talked about the Empress, which would be like the paternal mother card. And tonight we are going to delve into the Emperor. And he is more of the paternal fatherly figure. Now again, even though, these have male and female energies attached to them, and say like on the Empress card, it is a female, and on the Emperor, it's a male. A person can inhabit both of these. So just keep that in mind. So this is the classic Emperor card. So just kind of take that in for a moment. When you learn them, it's all about just setting a card aside, and you really take in all the various symbols and everything that you see on the card. And we're going to talk a bit about them here. So the Emperor, he is the fourth major arcana card, which is what this Roman numeral means. And as far as the numerical meanings, which we've talked about in brief, because numerology is such an expanse type of thing. There's books written on it. 4 is a good indicator of stability, so that it's a really good, strong number to have. I'm going to point out a couple different things in the card here. So you see this right here. I'm going to get kind of close so that you guys can see it. This is what they call an Ankh scepter. Now this might sound a little familiar. So for those of you who are familiar with Egyptian type things, as far as what we studied in school, it kind of dates back to them, definitely. So basically with them, it meant like everlasting life. But in the context of this card and the Emperor holding this Ankh scepter, which in short scepter, it means that he has power and dominion. It's a sign of strength. So that's what that is. And so that would be his left hand. He's holding that. And on the right, he's holding like this globe. Now, some sources say that also means like, say, dominion over Earth. However, when I look at this, because again, I'm always emphasizing people to read intuitively. It's how you read what you see and process it. I see that as somebody who is very strong with his knowledge base. This is somebody who he is aged. So this is not, say, somebody it's a novice or at the beginning of their life. It's an older person. And he's got that long beard. So this is all of his knowledges and experiences that have resulted in him being this really strong masculine figure that is worthy of being seen as a leader, generally, from a paternal perspective, that's somebody that is overseeing a family or an organization, from, a business aspect. So as far as in great contrast to the Empress, so if you guys remember last night, the Empress was seated in this like really posh looking throne with like pillows behind her and stuff. He doesn't have that. He is seated upon a throne made of stone. And underneath this crimson robe, okay? He's got his armor on. This is not someone to be messed with, and he is directly meeting somebody's gaze. His stance is one to where he's open. It's not like his stance is guarded or anything. It's just very confident and self-assured. Yes, it would appear that this person, he will listen to you, but he's not one to be trifled with either. This is not somebody you say, if you saw somebody like this in real life, you're going to approach him and try to get one over on him because he's got his armor on. He is strong and he is ready to defend the people that he's accountable for. So, very authoritarian, very strong, masculine energy. Look at the sky. So in the sky, it is a brighter sky, but it's a bit of a crimson. So this could be like a dawn or a sunset. And in the background, there's this mountainous region. In contrast to the Empress, was surrounded with like water and trees and all this greenery and wheat all around her. So that would be his opposites, the Empress. She's surrounded by all that. He is like bare bones, surrounded by just rock. Now you remember in tarot, like the Cups suit, that's all about emotions. He has a little bit of water right here. Emotions don't play much into this figure here. He is very logical, analytical, so like the Empress is more about the emotional nurturing, giving birth to people and projects, right? Female energies. The Emperor, on the flip side of that, emotions do him no good other than obscuring his objectivity. If anything, like, yeah, I'm a mom and I'm feminine, so I relate to the Empress. I really like the Emperor's energy, though, because I'm always about objectivity. I do believe emotions can obscure objectivity, so I can really like the energy with the Emperor. I like that he's clear-cut like that. And as far as the ram's heads, so they say that was drawn in there because it's kind of like a nod to the planet Mars. So that's why we see rams. And when I look at rams, I see those big horns that they use to like run into their opponents. So it suits this guy that he would have something like that, very big and intimidating and masculine on his throne. So yeah, so that's a couple things to kind of take away from this guy. And I will go ahead and hold up some other cards like I've been doing for comparison. So here's one. So again, we have a gentleman. And instead of the rams that were built into his throne, this guy actually has ram horns. So he looks like the devil. So I suppose that father figures can be intimidating, especially when you're growing up, right? If you had some sort of father figure or somebody who acted in the way of a father figure, okay? It can be intimidating when they're holding you accountable for rules. And here it looks like he's got one leg back, like he could go ahead and shift his weight and have that forward trajectory. Here, his foot's facing forward. And then here, that globe, he's holding that in his left hand, which could mean, dominion, or it could also, again, mean those knowledge and experiences that have made him a leader. And then the Ankh scepter that we talked about, which represent that power and also dominion, those are part of his throne. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool with this picture. And then, yeah, he's wearing a robe and he's got these long boots on. It's hard to tell with this picture if he's wearing armor, honestly, because a man could wear long boots, And behind him, and again, it's challenging because it's black and white. there's these wavy areas. I don't know if that's supposed to be like the hills behind him with his home. So when I see that, again, the emperor has no need for a bunch of emotions. He's all no BS, objectivity, very logical and analytical. He's protecting his home. And he is in a stance where he's going to protect it. So far, if you look at the two, there's a lot of similarities with these guys. So this is the Tarot of the Abyss. So again, this is a very good deck based on Rider-Waite-Smith. All right. Moving on to, from my Crow Tarot deck, there's this one. And it shows a crow, okay? And he's perched on top of a sword. So remember, swords are all about action and communication. That makes sense with the Emperor. And the ram's head is at the base of that, which are those horns. So it's a nod to what we were talking about with that ram's head. And then with the throne, it's actually very posh looking. It's made of gold and it's got that red velvet lining. In the background, though, we still have that theme of it being a very barren, mountainous region. And it's a bit cloudy in the sky. You know, but not really, as far as similarities go, there's really not a whole lot left in common with the Rider-Waite-Smith, you know. But still, even with somebody learning, you could still see the energy on this card, even compared to the Empress. It's a big change from last night. And then to wrap things up, so we, you know, always leave us with a card where it's like, what? So this is from the Hush Tarot, the Emperor card. So again, beautiful. I love the art. I was drawn to it. That's why I bought the deck. However, if you're looking at this, you're really not seeing that masculine energy come through, or a lot of the symbols that we were talking about. Honestly, when I look at this card, I see these hands, which it could be male or female, trying to grasp this bird, which may or may not somehow be secured to their hands. I don't know. It almost looks like it's like a tower card. Like we haven't gone to the tower yet, but the structure on the crow is coming down. At the base, it would appear to be a couple of some sort wearing masks. You know, the male, which we're assuming is the male given the mask, is holding this flag, almost like celebrating like a celebration of some sort, surrounded by, I guess that would be like a squirrel of some sort, and flowers and greenery. And it looks like behind the couple, there's other little characters too that have like mask on. But you see what I mean? Like this is nowhere near like the Rider-Waite-Smith. So again, always research your decks. So very cool. So that is the Emperor. And then tomorrow, since I will be doing our weekly Go Live and Oracle card readings, I won't be doing a quick Go Live on a card, since I'll be doing those instead. And yeah, and if there's anything that you have questions on or things you'd like to see in our group, feel free to let me know. And yeah, I hope you're having a good evening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.